Hello students, hope you all are fine. Children, last turn we had discussed sublimation process. Today we'll discuss some more topics. First is change of state by changing pressure. We have already read that by changing temperature of any substance we can change its state. Like by changing temperature means by heating the solid can be changed to liquid form, and again by heating the liquid can be changed into gaseous form. So by changing temperatures we can change the state of matter. Is there any other factor which can also change the state of any substance? Yes, it is pressure. By changing pressure also states can be changed. So by changing pressure, generally gaseous state can be changed to liquid form or solid form. So example is by increasing pressure and reducing temperature, gases can be changed to liquids. Means any gas is there, we want to change to liquid form, so we have to increase its pressure and lower down its temperature. Pressure is increased and temperature is decreased. Then it can be changed to liquid form. So for example, air. If we want to change air in liquid form, what we have to do? Air is a gaseous mixture. So when the pressure on air is increased, pressure is applied on air and its temperature is decreased, means it is cooled down. Air is cooled and the pressure is applied over it. So it changes into liquid air, liquid mixture form. And during this change, the carbon dioxide which is present in air, it directly gets converted into solid carbon dioxide, because carbon dioxide is a gas which shows sublimation. So without changing into liquid form, from the gaseous form, as the pressure is increased, it directly changes into solid carbon dioxide, which is called dry ice. So solid carbon dioxide is called dry ice. And what are the other components of air? Oxygen, nitrogen, argon, water vapor, etc. They form a liquid mixture, and then all the components can be separated by fractional distillation. So the question is asked, how can the components of air be separated? So answer is very simple, by increasing the pressure and by lowering the temperature. Next is measurement of temperature. The most common scales of measuring temperature of any substance are, first is Fahrenheit scale and second is Celsius or centigrade scale. These are the two common methods by which we can measure the temperature. Now both these scales are related to each other by the formula given here. The formula is C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 upon 9, where C is Celsius temperature and F is Fahrenheit temperature. So by using this formula, we can convert Celsius to Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit to Celsius scale. Now let us do some examples. What is normal human body temperature? Our normal body temperature is 37 degree Celsius. Now how can we change it to Fahrenheit scale? Now using the above formula, 37 over 5 is equal to F minus 32 over 9. So when we cross multiply this, we get 5F minus 160 is equal to 37 into 9. Now 5F is equal to 333 plus 160. So F is equal to 493 over 5. This comes to be 98.6 degrees. So this is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. We have converted 37 degrees Celsius to 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. So human body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius or 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. The thermometer which we use for measuring our temperature, in what unit does it give our temperature? It gives in Fahrenheit, 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. So when we are suffering by fever, then it gives more than this. We say I have 100 fever, I have 99 fever. So that is in Fahrenheit. Next is Kelvin scale. Now what is Kelvin scale? It is a different scale for measuring temperature. Scientists use this scale for measuring temperature because it is a standard unit of temperature. The 0 point of this scale, that is 273 Kelvin, is called absolute zero. Now why this Kelvin scale is used? Because it is a standard unit of temperature. You know what is a standard unit? Standard unit of any quantity is that unit which is accepted worldwide in all the countries. So Kelvin scale is the standard unit of measuring temperature. So whenever you have to do numericals related to temperatures, if it is the temperature is given in Celsius or Fahrenheit, so you have to convert it first into Kelvin scale, then you have to solve your numericals. So how can we convert the Celsius temperature to Kelvin scale? For this the formula is here. Kelvin is equal to degree Celsius plus 273. If your temperature is given in degree Celsius, just by adding 273, it will be converted into Kelvin scale. For example, 37 degrees Celsius. So in Kelvin it will become 37 plus 273, it is 300 Kelvin. Second example is 0 degrees Celsius. 0 degrees Celsius, K is equal to 0 plus 273. This is 273 Kelvin. It is absolute zero of this scale. Example 3, minus 273 degrees Celsius. So K will be equal to minus 273 plus 273 is equal to 0 Kelvin. Now when we write this Kelvin temperature, you must have seen here I have not put degree Celsius. We don't put degree sign here. We only write Kelvin. K, 0 K, 273 K, 300 K, etc. So this is all about today, children. Revise all the topics and rest we'll do on next term.